The one where I have food down me. Risotto, anyone?
I've come out here at great expense into the shade to show you how beautiful it is out here. We're out the back. Over in the southwest behind me, well, yeah, behind me and over to the west, southwest, there are rain clouds coming up again. It's been a beautiful morning. Um, and I could stand here, couldn't I, showing you this, or I could go out and be in the warm in the front. I think that's what I'll do. And I'll try not to stop the vlog this time. Just checking. I thought I'd turned it off. Okay, hold tight. And that's how it is out here. I'm going to be dazzled by the sun unless I manoeuvre this around a bit. So I'm still dazzled because the sun is bouncing off the wall. It's really irritating every time you come out and make a noise. So, hair done. I was pleased with how that turned out. We didn't take a lot off. It needed quite a bit of weight take. It gets very heavy, my hair. It gets very thick. So she took weight out of it, but we didn't take a lot off the length. And you saw our drive home and that picture I took. It really was black, really, really black. But the meteo had not forecast a thunderstorm, so it was a bit of a shock when it started thundering. It was only brief. It was less than 10 minutes, or 3 or 4 thunderclaps in about 10 minutes, so it wasn't much. The rain was quite heavy, but again, brief. So we've got rain on the way this afternoon, and storms due tomorrow, according to Meteo. We'll see. So I have made, and we have eaten already, butternut squash risotto. I didn't have risotto rice, so I had to use round rice, which is the grains are smaller. But it was okay, but oh God, because I don't eat for however many hours, and it was white rice, my metabolism, my pulse really goes for it when I do eat. It sort of takes about 20 minutes for it to calm itself down again. It sort of gets very excited when it gets food. I've lost a kilo. I've lost a kilo since last week in 7 days. I'm really pleased. I know it's not a lot, but I have not lost any weight in months and months and months. So to lose a kilo, knowing that I've made some switches to what I'm eating, and knowing that I've been using the exercise bike, however briefly, makes me feel good, because I know that I am going to carry on doing more and losing some more weight, get more active, cut out the sweets, the chocolate bar that I was addicted to, and cutting out bread. I don't eat a lot of bread, but bread-based products like the rye bread we were eating, cutting that out will make a difference. So my last night, my supper was scrambled eggs and bacon, because I didn't know what else to have, and I knew that if I didn't have something protein that would satisfy me, I would be left hungry. And of course, when you eat bread, you have a bit more and feel a bit more satisfied. So yeah, scrambled egg and a bit of bacon was. So I went keto last night. I'm not going to do that tonight. There are eggs, but I like eggs, but I'm left tasting them for the rest of the evening. So I've got a lettuce in the fridge, and I'm going to do myself salad, I think. And I'll see if I can find a piece of cheese to have with it. If not, I'll just have salad. That'll do me, because the risotto was quite a lot. So yeah, I'm quite pleased about that. 3 sleeps till the boys are here. I'm happy about that. And my great grandson is now home, which is also good news. And it was his Mother's first Mother's Day, so that's nice. Yeah, what else? Trying not to be blinded. I'm going to pause you a minute. That's better. I'm less dazzled here with the sun here than facing that way with the wall. And I can sit down and I can drink my coffee more easily. Jehovah's Witnesses at the gate at midday. So I half opened the door. I was sort of cooking and I half opened the door and I went, Jehovah's Witnesses. Oui, okay. Bon dimanche, and closed the door. I didn't even wait for their response. You'd think, wouldn't you? You'd think by now they would give up. It's so irritating. So irritating, people wanting to press their religious beliefs on you. I really don't like. Well, we know, I've talked about it before. And because I was cooking and because I was hungry and I just not far from serving up, I didn't do any more about it. I think I might have got my phone and started filming them. That had been my plan, but I couldn't be bothered. So yeah, that's probably 2 months since the last lot. It was probably longer than that. I think I vlogged on it last time, so it's probably more than that. It just feels like 2 months. Quite cool, the breeze out here. It is nice being in the sun. It is so nice, but I know that that's going to go away in a minute. Well, not in a minute, but in about an hour probably, says the weather forecaster. Yeah, no, I'm not going to. Somebody, who was it, Linda, said, what's next? I'm not going to do another one. I mean, I spent money on that because I wanted to have a certificate, which I've looked at and can't be bothered to download and print off because it feels meaningless. And I just felt I was doing it on my own. There were discussion boards, but if you went to the discussion board, you could see that many of the discussions had taken place 32 weeks ago. So it wasn't very present. So no, and I sort of thought, I've done that. I enjoyed it-ish. And I look around at the other courses, and the only things I'm really interested in are in health related things or psychological related things, and I have done a whole raft of training in that in my career, and I don't feel I need to do any more. Maybe I could do some learning about how to tell a dog to... I don't think I need training on how to do that. I could do it if I wanted to. Just can't have a peaceful day in your garden. And I can't believe there are 2 dogs there. It was shocking that day they escaped, and there were 2 of them looking well, looking healthy, absolutely beside themselves with joy to be out and about and running around, and that was lovely. But when I hear that over there, it just sounds like one dog being really pissed off, but it's obviously 2 dogs sort of probably play fighting, I hope, with each other. I suppose that's better than it was years ago when he'd got one chained at one end of the yard and one at the other. But yeah, it's a shame that they're locked up, or so restricted. Real shame. But then he's got a loft of pigeons out the back that are also restricted. They never fly anywhere ever, and they're in a cage. And in summer that must be so uncomfortable and hot. And I know they don't know any different, but it's just disgusting. It's just so awful. And I know that several old French people in the past kept rabbits in cages. I don't know whether they still do it, but they kept rabbits in cages, but just kept rabbits in cages big enough for a rabbit to be able to turn around in, not very big, and grown for food, bred for food. When he was here in this house, when we moved in, when we cleared out down at the where the chickens are now, there were old cages there, so he'd obviously kept rabbits. So it's all about food. It's not about animal welfare. It is so different. I know that he doesn't eat the dogs. Well, I don't think he eats the dogs. But animal welfare here is not what you would hope. And it completely clashes cultures with the English culture, which is highly animal welfare focused. And I think that many of the English people here are fighting a losing battle with the culture here. They want, they try and change the culture, and you can't. This is how it is. Coming over to another country and living in that country and trying to change the culture is wrong. I'm really pissed off about what happens next door. I'm really pissed off that his pigeons are kept like that and that he doesn't take care of his animals. But at the same time, it's what he's doing and what he's done all his life and what he has learned to believe is okay. And I'm not here to change his mind. Where did that come from? What do I call this vlog? The vlog where I start ranting before I even knew it. Well, it's not very clickbaity, is it? I have to come up with some clickbait, I think. If I put animals in the title, people will leap on it. It makes me laugh. One of my bugbears is the amount of animal charities there are and how much money they have compared to human charities. That is a real bugbear for me. Real bugbear. Oh, okay, I'm going to stop because that is just really pissing me off. Have a nice day. I hope yours is quieter than mine. I have not shouted the F word. I really haven't. Only just, though. What are you doing down there? Are you having a nice time? So, I've just finished making my vlog where the dog doesn't stop barking. It's now stopped, but I think I heard somebody come out and do something or let it in or whatever. I think he would have responded a bit sooner, wouldn't you, after all that? And this is how it sounds. How nice is that? How peaceful. Why couldn't it have been like that before? And I'm not being dazzled either. And breathe. So what I've been doing is using my the iMovie app on my Mac. I can just stitch these bits and pieces together. Get me? I know it's not editing, but I can stitch things together, which is quite handy really when you've got little bits to add. I don't think I'll ever use any other form of equipment like a GoPro or anything. I'll just use this phone. I was watching somebody this morning taking footage of walking through and getting on the Canadian, and I couldn't work out. I was thinking, what the heck are you using to film this? It was just moving around like this. It was really hard to watch. And then later on, when he was doing a tour of the very small room, you saw a reflection in the mirror, and he was like this with the camera. I was thinking, oh God, I don't realise how stable my phone is. I don't appreciate how stabilised it is until I do a road trip or something, and it doesn't jiggle around as much as it feels like it is. I'm really pleased I bought it. I spent money on it, but then I thought, well, if I'm going to do this, then I want at least a decent phone to use. I think it was Phil that said to me, you need a phone that has inbuilt stabilisation. So that's what I did. I probably did that about 18 months ago now. But yeah, I think the only thing I might change is the tripod. I have problems getting this where I want it. It's a camera tripod. It's not a blogging tripod, although they're probably all the same. But I might have a look and see what other tripods there are. Phil did buy me a selfie stick to begin with, but I just couldn't manage it because it was too heavy. It was too heavy for my arm to be holding it out in front of me. And he also bought me the gimbal, which I worked out in the end that the problem with the gimbal was, what hand did I hold it in? Whatever it was, I was holding it and I was pressing a button that was making it do that. I really didn't get on with that either, and that was hard, and that had got a really tight clamp on it to clamp to the phone. So yeah, I gave up on that. So all I've got is this rigid hand holding thing, and I've got my flexible clamp that I can clamp to my desk if I record in there in the evening. So still trying to think of a title. I'll think of one. Meanwhile, a bit more jazz. No, you made the sun go away now, haven't you? Did you make the sun go away? Okay, that really is the end.